Alright, chat, it's the day we've all been waiting for. Rumours circulating Twitter for days, maybe about a week now, about few new players that are coming in, according to Craig Hemmings himself, Craig Hemmings himself from the Bamber Bridge game said, we are signing a few players, 2 strikers, 1 Danish, 1 from somewhere else, it escapes me at the moment. But there is some now, anyways, there's a lot of people doubting these claims because there were, there's some people saying that they don't trust Riddler, they don't trust Hemmings, and that's understandable. However, there is now some authenticity to his words because, as you can quite clearly see, Mads, I'm not even going to try and say that, signed for Preston North End. I've watched his intro video where he introduces himself, and it sounds something like Frøkjær-Jensen. I believe if I said that right. I've probably butchered it horribly, but I am not. I'm very English, and I do not know any other language to any degree, and I absolutely butcher names. So I'm just going to call him Jensen. Or Jensen. Let's just call him Jensen, shall we? Preston North End are delighted to confirm, and this is my favourite part, Jensen is set to join the club on a 4-year deal, subject to international clearance and a work permit. The attacking midfielder arrives from Danish club Ordent's Bold Club, I think, or let's just call it OB, for a significant undisclosed fee, Ridsdale making sure they add that in, and is set to take the number 10 shirt at Deepdale. Mad said, I had a big dream of coming to a new club this summer, and England has always been a big dream of mine since I was a kid, so I'm excited right now, and it's pretty surreal it's actually happened. I always said to my family and agent that when I leave it had to be for a club outside of Denmark, so it's a dream come true. Very happy, it's much bigger than where I came from, so everything's good, I'm a happy kid. Mads, 23, made over 100 appearances during his time as an OB player after joining them as a teenager. He made his first appearance in the Danish Superliga in April 2019 and soon became a regular for his first professional club. The cap Denmark under-21 international scored 8 times during the 23 season, and he will now join up with Peony ahead of the new season once international clearance and work permit have been granted. Manager Ryan Law added, we've been monitoring Mads for a while since the scouting department found him, so when we knew we had a chance of signing him, we did everything we could to get him. Ridsdale flew over to meet him on Friday and struck the deal while we were in Spain, so it's good to have Mads in the building today and signed up. He's an attacking midfielder with a good size and stature whose numbers tally up to what we want. He's a ball carrying number 8, and that's where he'll play for us, or anywhere in the midfield areas. Ultimately, he's a young lad coming from Europe who's very willing to keep learning and improving, and I'm delighted we got the deal sorted. So let's hear first hand from Mads, shall we, on what he's going to say. Mads Jensen has described himself as a player who likes to attack in his first interview. Very good. The attacking midfielder is set to join the Lily Lights, and yeah, we know this, scoring 8 goals for OB during the 22-3 campaign. Mads has had a clear focus on how he wants to operate in a North End shirt. Asked what fans can expect, Mads said, hopefully a player who gives his all every game. I like to press forward, everything I do is forward. I don't like to run backwards too much, also not with the ball, I want to go forward, set up my teammates and press high, attack and get assists and goals. At age 23 and spent life in Denmark, it might have been a difficult decision to make the move to England. However, Mads admitted it was a dream for him to do this move. He said, I always said to my family and agent that when I leave it had to be for a club outside of Denmark, so it's a dream come true. I was on vacation in, wherever that is, I think Sicily, when I was called up by my agent, and I was very excited from the beginning. I had a dream of coming to a new club this summer, and England has been a big dream of mine since I was a small kid, so I'm excited. Very happy, it's much bigger than where I came from. With only 32 matches during the Danish Superliga season, the relentless nature of championship schedule isn't something Mads is accustomed to, but something he's looking forward to. He may have to wait until he can start preparing for the new campaign, though, with the midfielder unable to train until his work permit and international clearance come through. Mads added, I'm excited to see how it feels to play all these games, getting used to the body work, so much everything about is going to be a big challenge, but I'm excited to try. The season is still some weeks ahead, so right now I'm excited to get on the field. And right now, I just feel a bit like a cow in the winter time waiting to get on the grass to be happy. I like that metaphor, that's pretty nice. So yeah, he seems pretty excited. I've watched the interview itself on his body language and his attitude. He looks knackered, to be fair. And he seems a little bit like, what's going on? But his English is quite good, so there won't be a language barrier. Of course, he's Danish, so Reese will probably help him, settle in and all that good stuff. And he, like I said, he seems to be excited to get going because, like he says, he's always wanted to be in these kind of leagues, and he has that chance. So, of course, we've all seen clips of Jensen and whatnot in the last few days, and it's a massive shame that the only 2 players we've signed so far in this window, being Calvin Ramsey and Jensen, they're not even able to play with us right now. So, based on that information, with Calvin Ramsey still healing from his knee injury and Jensen not being able to play due to permits, we might not even see these guys play during the Barrow, Ipswich and Aberdeen friendlies coming up, which would be a real shame because I'll be watching 2 of them, that being Aberdeen and Ipswich. But you know, a lot of people will be going to these games to try and see the new signings in action, and of course we already expect Ramsey to not be there, more than likely, but with Jensen you'd at least expect something, but it is what it is, really. As long as we get to see him in the future, and the near future that is, I'll be happy, because like you say, you want to see a new signing, you get a new signing, you want to watch him play, and that's what I want to do. I'm very excited to see what he can do for us, because being the new number 10, taking that role from Daniel Johnson, there's some big shoes to fill, because of course DJ was a loyal servant to the club for 8 years, and he's here for 4 of them, which is already a very, very good deal, because when I heard we was looking for getting this guy, I was always thinking in the back of my head, we're going to give him a stupid contract that makes no sense, but a 4-year deal and a good fee from what I've heard is 1.4 million plus bonuses, I'm quite happy with, because like you say, you're paying good money for a player that's supposedly the dog's bollocks in the area that he plays in, so we can only wait and see. But it's whether or not he adapts to playing with the team that I'm most concerned about, because for a player that likes to attack, we're a team that seems to want to take our time in a lot of places, so unless Jensen is going to be the key to try and help the rest of the lads build the confidence in going forward, then I'm not entirely sure we can aid him in playing his best role, if that makes sense, because going forward we don't really have many striking options, and the players that play behind and on the side of the forward options we do have, they don't exactly seem confident enough to carry their own weight, if that makes sense. For example, with Potts on the right side and now Brady on the left side, there's going to be you can expect a lot of crosses, where with Jensen he'll carry it forward from the middle, and that's something we want to see. Of course, Preston have always been a team that like to play it wide, and we do seem to be a threat in wide areas when done properly, but we don't always seem to do it properly. We seem to stumble quite a lot, which is a shame, because if we can consistently be a threat in these areas, then we can consistently be a threat full stop. But of course that's not the case. But with Jensen now coming into this midfield, if we can get something good going on with Alan Brown, who can sometimes play the like sort of an attacking midfielder role, he has that ability to do so, and maybe with a bit of Ben Whiteman as well, it could be something good, because of course Whiteman's one of those influential midfielders anyway, but could often be seen in more defensive midfielder roles at times. So you know, kind of where you'd see Ryan Ledson maybe, you know, here and there, but like I say, we'll have to wait and see where he gets played. But I'm expecting him to be put in that forward role, where he's expected to take the ball forward and expected to provide assists for the strikers, and if not, have a crack himself. And as long as I'm seeing chances being made, or at least trying to get something out of a good run, I'm not going to be disappointed in the slightest, because that's what we were missing last season, the confidence to have a go. And this guy clearly doesn't, he's confident, he likes to have a go, so as long as we see that on the pitch, I will be a happy boy. So yes, there we go, Jensen is confirmed. And as far as I'm aware as well, there's a guy from Huddersfield that we're on about going after. Duane Holmes is due a deep dive for talks and a medical after a fee was agreed with Huddersfield. That was 3 hours ago, from Reluctant Nico, which I don't know how reliable of a source that, or Alan Nixon. I just didn't recognise the handle. So yeah, Alan Nixon, relatively reliable source. So it wouldn't surprise me if we expect an announcement of Duane Holmes at the end of the week or early next week. And if that's the case, again, that's a pretty good thing, because so many people I've seen doubt Duane Holmes as a player, simply because he plays for Huddersfield. But if you ask me, I do think he's not a bad player whatsoever, and depending on how we use him, he could be a good asset for us, like you say. But his price tag as well, I've seen a lot of people say he's like in the regions of 8 million. I think that's ridiculous, and I don't think that's what's going to be happening with this player and us, because there's no way we're doing 8 million. And I suppose in some other transfer news while I'm here before I sign off, Sunderland have put in a 3 million bid for Cannon, but are slowly losing interest. Luton have now stepped away from the Cannon idea, I believe. So I think we're the only team that's asking for Tom Cannon right now. So provided Everton don't seem fit after the pre-season to play with them, I mean, I suppose if nothing changes, we're still on the radar for receiving Tom Cannon back, which we absolutely need. So we'll see. But anyways, thanks a ton for watching. Let me know what you think of this new signing. Will it benefit us? Will it not? Do you think it's been gained for a correct price? 1.4 million. As far as I'm aware, market value was around 800,000 last I looked. But let me know. Is he a good signing? Is he not? And how are we going to use him? Are you happy with it? All that good stuff. Comments, Twitter, you know the drill. Thanks a ton for watching once again, and I'll see you in the next one.